is the true genius of America. A faith in simple dreams. An insistence on small miracles. That we can say what we think, write what we think without hearing a sudden knock on the door.
Haha, that's what he said, right? Hey, but speaking of that's what he said, we got...
Oh, come on, you motherfucker.
Here we go. If he wasn't fucking cussing, it wouldn't be the fat Jew.
Sorry, my bad.
And if he wasn't angry, he wouldn't be...
Angry Steve?
All right, and just a reminder, guys, we're live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
That's Bill O'Reilly watching our show.
Nice.
Fucking thing sucks.
What's going on, guys?
Yo, so I get to use that little trick that I learned, dropping you off at the airport tomorrow. Because I got 2.5 hours, a bunch of tolls. Yeah, baby.
Oh, that was a nice little trick you picked
Yes,
up.
sir. I don't want to give it away. By the way, I don't want to forget this. I just thought of an amazing invention.
Well, are you sure you want to give it away to the...
No, I'm not. I'm not going to give it away. But, once we end this, I got to talk to you guys about it. You know what I mean? If we can fucking do this, bro, I'm telling you.
All right. Well,
I'll be the investor.
Listen, bro, I think it's a genius idea. I don't know if it's out there yet. I don't think it is. I've never seen one, but I think it would be so convenient. I'm just saying.
The pocket pussy is patent pending.
Mm-mm.
No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah, but we'll talk after the live because I don't want to give it away.
Yeah. So I guess your wife's coming back, so your vacation's over.
My wife's not coming back till like the 15th of March.
Oh, wow. So
I think.
Who, you got another friend coming on the airport?
No, I don't think so.
Did you just say you have to go to the airport?
No. I was telling Juice that I'm using the trick I learned when I dropped him off at the airport on the way there.
Oh.
We learned a trick how you can get away with something. Again, I don't want to fucking just, admit to this on live. So we'll
No,
leave it at that.
I thought that there was an airport trip involved.
No.
Yeah, just go back to the titties bouncing. We'll take the titties bouncing for 1,000, Alex.
He's not going to incriminate himself.
Yeah.
So any news this week? Like anybody getting any? I haven't heard any. I mean, I do know that what's his name gave a speech, the Ruski, and he was kind of like pointing fingers, saying don't try it or some shit. But
the only news I can report on is that I saw an article today about Lindsey Graham where he was saying how because there's Vice President Kamala Harris and President Barack Obama that ran for 2 terms, that there's no systematic racism, that the blacks have made it, is basically what he says in his article today.
Wow, I'm surprised that guy had the balls to say that.
Yeah, so we'll
as Mr. Roper would say, he's a little
Yeah,
and they're all bitching about what they're doing in Arizona too. I'm waiting for that.
Oh yeah. Now we have to tread lightly on our words when we talk.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying. But I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to get pulled down and get you another strike.
But but if that motherfucker falls, then all the other states are going to fall like dominoes, basically, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because if there's, discrepancies, then there's discrepancies. Doesn't matter how much.
Exactly.
So it looks like the CDC is going to relax the guidelines on wearing masks since the transmission rate is low outdoors.
Exactly.
So
yeah, because they can't deny that people are out here. Did you see UFC down here the other day? Fucking night. Place was jam packed. Yeah.
I got to tell you guys, I was in Montclair the other day, and man, all the fucking retards wearing masks outside.
Yeah. Well,
there were more people probably on the one street in Montclair with masks on than in all of Tampa.
Really?
Probably.
Yeah.
I can tell you that You know, I sort of was, in Atlantic City, there was quite a few people wearing masks outside. There was quite a few that weren't. I personally was one of them that wasn't, and my daughter was kind of following me. So we can see how that proved to be maybe, I don't know, an interesting conflicted statement. So you don't know. But she's still struggling upstairs, locked in her room.
Jeez.
So we'll see.
How much longer is that?
By Wednesday, she's able to come out.
All right.
I mean, she's come out a couple of times. She goes to the bathroom. She comes downstairs. She's been outside playing, but she still feels like shit.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I couldn't live like that. I couldn't do it. Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't wear the mask. I can't wear the mask outside, especially with the heat. See, New Jersey, it's been cold, so it's tolerable when it's cold outside. When it's hot, forget it.
Right.
Like Florida weather with the humidity, forget about it. I couldn't do it.
No, thank you.
Well,
You're just breathing in fucking hot breath every fucking 10 seconds. It's no good for you.
when I got home from Florida, the first thing I noticed was not only how cold it is here, but it'll be like 48 degrees outside, and then you go into like the CVS and it's like 98 degrees in the fucking CVS, and it's just like, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to live?
The things I've learned in Florida is Florida makes you have sweat in you find you have places you sweat that you didn't know existed before. like
extreme
that
swamp ass.
Yeah, swamp ass. Especially if you're a bigger dude, forget about it.
Oh, dude, let me just tell you, bro. On the hot days when I work outside, I need like a full fucking beach towel to wipe up the amount of sweat that comes off of me. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's why I like inside.
Yeah.
That's why I prefer finished carpentry, because I'm outside, but I'm not swinging outside. I'm going outside to cut, and I'm going right back inside.
I went to the hardware store the other day, lumber store, and I couldn't believe the price of lumber is up again. It's like $75 for a sheet of plywood.
Yeah, it keeps going up. It's fucking
$783 for a 2x4, $583 for a 1x3.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, you can't be for real.
So how much is that due to the canal, and how much is that because of our
It has nothing to do with the canal.
Really?
Nothing.
No, it's about the lumber mills. So they do a prediction, like a long forecast, and they forecasted incorrectly. They forecasted there was going to be a housing shortage, and there was actually a housing increase, and they forecasted that the what was the other thing? That people staying at home wouldn't spend money during COVID, but instead they did, and it just caused it all to be the wrong prediction. Then COVID hit the mills on top of that, and this demand is there. But now everything's overstocked, but the price is through the roof. Pallets upon pallets of 2x4s and sheets of plywood are sitting on the shelves at $75 a piece. For the plywood, and $7 for a 2x4, and nobody's buying it now.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what's going to happen is people are not going to be able to afford it, and then they're going to have a shit ton of it. And then when nobody has money, that's when they're going to fucking start, giving them away for,
Yeah. I was lucky, man. I was building the bar downstairs and everything else. I got finished grade plywood. I got oak plywood, cost me $50 a sheet. Now regular plywood, $75 a sheet. I'm like,
yeah, oak is probably like 150.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's the fucking nuts. I'm like, who would spend this money? You know what I mean? It's crazy. So it's going to cause builders to stop building. It's going to cause everything to go up in price. We're basically in a recession right now, and we're actually in a hyperinflation movement. We have to see. I think the inflation might be in double digits, which is a scary thing. Everything is up. I went looking at price of wire, electrical wire. I bought electrical wire less than 6 months ago for half the price. It went from $80 a roll to $160.
Jesus.
And this is just in 3 months. So what's it going to keep doing? I mean, if it goes any higher, we're going to be like Venezuela, where everything costs $30,000.
Right. Well, that's what they want.
That's what they're doing.
Well, they're not going to be happy till we're a full out banana republic.
Right.
You know, the biggest problem is nobody wants to work. They can't get people to work.
Now, is that a problem all over the country, or do you think that's mainly like the blue fucking shithole states, like where we live?
No, it's all over the country. I have, you know, and I was thinking it was different industries, but my friend's friend owns a couple of businesses, and he can't get people to work, and he's going to recruiters, and he's trying to pay more money. He's going to recruiters to you know, to find people, and he's literally saying, I will hire anybody if they, you know, he owns it's a they make racks for different industries. So again, this is not a white collar, you know, shirt and tie job. I'm sure he has some of those, but you know, this is the blue collar worker job, right? Where you have to build racks and move racks, and he's willing to pay, but people don't want to work. And and he gets a recruiter, and he's paying the recruiter, and the recruiter says, you know, I looked into it and I talked to people. They built an Amazon warehouse up the street. They're paying way more than you're going to offer, and the work isn't as hard in the Amazon facility. So he literally can't get people to be blue collar workers right now.
Yeah, because like I said, it's always the big corporations that are choking everybody out. That's what they want.
Yeah.
They want you to rely on them so that they can control everything. Because if they can control where if they kill small business and they prevent everybody from working, you have to go to them to get it. And they can charge whatever they want, and they're gonna keep making the billions, and they're gonna keep fucking screwing everybody and their mother because they don't give a shit. It's all about their pockets. That's all they care about.
Right, and they're forcing it to be made in third world
Right.
countries because you
Right.
can't get they basically turned the labor force here into I guess they're trying to make everybody the superior race, and they're not. When I say the superior race, the country race, right? Like, you know,
Right,
United States, like,
Not
you
a
know,
white Anglo-Saxon.
yeah, no, the country race, because nobody wants to work. It doesn't matter what your you know origin is from. Nobody wants to work.
Well, that's like even when Juice was down here. Remember that restaurant we went to when we
Yeah,
got off the boat and
after the
ate?
boat. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a fucking sign that said, you know, be patient with us. We can't find anybody to fucking work because the government's giving them free money.
Oh yeah, I meant to tell you that. Yeah,
Yeah, this is
and
the
that's
problem.
down there.
This is all over, right? So, you know, now, you know, you got to pay the waitress or the waiter, the waitress, you know, $25 an hour plus their tips. So now they're making more money than you are as owning the business because
Right.
you have your overhead. So now you got to pay them. You're not making as much money. You got to charge more. Now you're pissed because the consumer because you don't want to pay more. Now your burger went from like a $6 burger to it's going to cost you $60 for a burger soon.
Well, is that part of the reason why that place was so fucking expensive in AC?
I think that's what's happening. I think everything is just going to, you know, keep raising the price and raising the price, and it's causing us, you know, you're going to have to make $250,000 a year just to get McDonald's. That's
Good
the track that we're on right now.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
Yeah, because just think, you can't get people to work. You know, what can't get people to work? You know, you need a plumber to come plumb. You know, to clog your, fix your toilet. You can't get anybody to show up. You got to pay him $2,000 to unclog your clog. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a interesting times we're in. I think it's looking bleak here.
Yeah, it ain't looking. Hey, listen, I don't see fucking. I mean, I'm hoping that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I just hope it's not a fucking train. That's all.
Yeah, we got to go call that broad the conspiracy theorist, one that you were talking to right now, because I'm going right down in the dark rabbit hole where everything's fucked right now.
Well, it's not too much of a conspiracy when you see it in front of your face, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's
That's what it says right in front of the face. Like it's happening everywhere. People can't get people to work. So if this guy can't get people to build his racks, the businesses can't even get the racks if they want them. So the places that can pump them out, made in China, imported here, is gonna just pay the piper along the way, and they're still gonna be the
I'll be right back.
busy. All right. Fair enough.
fat you, everybody.
Fat show. Just abruptly exited. So yeah. So anyways, so true. So I was really started watching these YouTubers and how they became famous and how much they invest into doing this and the setups that they have. And they're invested at 24/7. They're paying for influencers. They're paying for advertisements. It's really interesting. I was kind of getting into it.
Yeah, I tell you, I jumped down that rabbit hole a few times in the last since I started. I've been doing this now for about 7 months, and yeah, there's a lot of things, but I think the most important thing is just creating good content, and then with that, I think the viewers follow. But yeah, there's definitely people that spend money to influence the algorithms and whatever. I'm just making the numbers up, but you pay a couple $100, maybe you get a few thousand views on your video, and then and I was telling you, YouTube is all about the watch hours more so than the views. So maybe now it's pay for watch hours or however it might work.
Yeah, but basically, it's really what you got to do is So what you got to do is you got to have, he was saying that you have to have a professional setup, like the light ring that you have, the microphone, right? Like you got to have that stuff. Like the setup that I have, he's saying isn't good, right? You know what I mean? The iPad, he's saying get a setup like you have,
Well, yeah,
right? Then you got to get good content.
I just my setup I came up with just from watching other people's stuff, so it's kind of a no brainer. You're
Right.
just my jerk off friend on his iPad,
right? But what he's saying is that I should get a professional setup if I want to do this. And then what you do is that you have to have interesting content that people actually want to hear, and then you go ahead and you pay for those sponsored times, right, to get the extra views on your videos, and you got to get people hooked on your stuff and hope they keep coming back. All you need is really one video. And what the Stradman was saying, that I sent you the video. I don't know if you had time to watch it. It's kind of lengthy, but he was basically saying how he really went from when he went full time doing this. So he literally has no life other than doing the social media. It's 24/7. Okay. And, he tried having a girlfriend and he didn't have time for the girlfriend because he's always doing these car videos and these videos about everything. And he's making, I think he has 3 million subscribers, right? He was saying how he posts the videos in certain frequencies because if you post them too close together, you start losing views on the videos. So it was a really long progression that I was, following him on. It's a long video, and he makes $2 million a year between the YouTube sponsored content, the merchandise that he sells, and other sponsor ads and whatever. $2 million a year, and he owns all these supercars, right? Because that's part of the business.
Yeah, no, that's I mean that's smart, and that's that's a good way to do it. And I'm assuming he does all pre-recorded videos, so we do live streams a little bit different. But even when you do a live stream, you want to do it on like a consistent schedule, and for the most part we stick to like Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday night at 8:30 for the most part. Like tonight
Yes.
started a little late, but it's
Yeah.
fine. We don't have that big a following yet to really worry about that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. No, I understand. But I'm saying like Mondays and Thursdays aren't really good for me, right? So those are the days that I got stuff I can't go on, right? Unless we go on, it's depends on what time we go on, right? But I got conflicting things on Mondays and Thursdays. But anyway, I was just reading how he releases the videos, how he sets them up, and how he became famous. He basically stopped his life and devoted it 100% to YouTube and was able to make it. That's the cool part.
Yeah, a lot of kids want to be YouTubers nowadays.
Yeah. Well, no. So then I was looking at even the TikTokers and the Instagrammers. They pay for influencers or likes and to get their video promoted. And And it just takes one video to go viral, and then you kind of can make it and become a millennial millionaire.
Yep.
Which is very interesting. And then the the old guy over here getting some education.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, when I first started doing this on those What's Trending shows I do, some of them would pop and get like 150 views, which I was like, how the fuck did this one get 150 views? And I would make one that I thought was better a few days later, and it would get like 20 views. And I'm like, well, maybe it's keywords, maybe it's whatever, but I think it really just comes down to having good content. And keywords are kind of important because it's how YouTube shows viewers to discover you. Is when I make descriptions of the videos, you put certain keywords. And so say we're doing like a video about, I don't know, the NFL. I'll go and look up the keywords that like a video about the NFL that has 500,000 views uses, and I'll use those same keywords. Okay. And what YouTube will do is put my NFL video on suggested videos for the 500,000 view video.
Okay.
But it's up to me to create compelling enough content for the person to not only watch the video, but stay on the video.
Right. Like we have to find content that's interesting,
right? Not
just, not something that's boring. Like maybe nobody wants to hear about a particular topic.
And that's why I'm not even to this day, I want to give it a few more months, maybe to the 1 year point, before I really start trying to spread this shit, because I don't want people to find me when I suck at it and be like, oh, this channel sucks. You know what I mean? I'd rather get a little more experience, get a couple hundred shows under my belt, and feel like I'm putting out good enough content that I could really spread. I haven't plugged this once on my personal Facebook or anything.
Right. Like I think I might have started maybe one episode. No, I never actually put it on my Facebook, right? I think I just sent it to a couple of friends via text,
and that's all I do. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure that some of I'm thinking about it. Like if you got to, invest that much effort into it, maybe you get a little bit more serious. I'll get a professional setup, make a studio down in the basement as it's almost finished under construction, make it like the podcast room, do something like that.
Yeah. And dude, if you ever want to do your own solo content and you want me to help you produce it.
But that's what I was looking at, the production and everything else. Got to start getting into that. And then, you know what I mean? And the hosting the thing, I think I might get into it.
Yeah, and when I bought all the equipment, I think I was Fat. You knows about this, but I think I was telling you too. It was my uncle was breaking my balls on his deck over a beer back in August, and he's like, "Hey, fuck nut. I thought we were supposed to start a podcast like 8 years ago. What happened?" I'm like, "All right, motherfucker. If you're serious, I'll do all the research. I'll buy the equipment. And you can reimburse me for 50% of the costs." And I really only did research for audio only, to be honest with you. And then it dawned on me, well, if we're going to do the audio only, which is a lot of work setting all that shit up and finding what to get, you might as well just get a webcam at minimum and put the shit on YouTube simultaneously.
Right.
And the audio shit was a little tricky to learn and figure out at first, but it's not rocket science. And I've had friends that know nothing about how this works tell me I missed my calling. Like I should be just fucking doing this.
Yeah, I literally run the IT department for Fortune 500 company. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure I could figure out how to set this up.
Yeah, it's definitely not rocket science, and I could show you the website I went on to.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like I might actually try to get into it, get more professional, because we probably do suck. And half the time I look retarded, you know what I mean?
Got it, yeah.
It's like over here, 6 chins, my kids shit behind me, you know what I mean? Like,
but it's like anything else. With the more experience, even if you still suck, you still suck less with like a year's worth of experience than with a month of experience.
So I'm kind of getting into this, right? And then I'm looking at how do you get people to follow you on TikTok? Like I never really tried. I just looked at the girl shaking their fucking thong at me, and that's really all I was hitting the like button on. But how do you get all the subscribers or followers or whatever?
You gotta come out with content, whatever it is, whether it's you got humor, bro. Just use that shit. Start stitching stuff. Start making fun of stuff. Just make videos and post them.
No, I'm gonna have to check that out. Like I'm saying, like that's interesting. Like I watch you do it, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm just the guy over here watching in the corner. So I don't know. It's kind of like
You just got to make a video, bro.
Yeah.
Once you make the first one and the second one, and then you pick it up.
Yeah.
You got to start. You got to start somewhere, bro.
Yeah. So here you go. It's Angry Steve's social media experience.
Listen, if you're gonna go with Angry Steve, then stick with it, and then like your videos, just make them you fucking bitching angrily at shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm not really more so much an angry dude, right? Like my wife's always like, "You're fucking angry all the time. You're angry." That's why the joke was Angry Steve, right? Like I'm not really that angry. I'm not really. You see me. How many episodes have I been on that I'm really like angry?
I've never really seen
maybe
you
you should
angry.
play it up for the camera then.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like I don't know. It's not really. Is it really worth it? I'm
Maybe,
more of like.
well, maybe for the camera and for the sake of the podcast that you're on, whether it's this one or your own, you should pretend like you're angrier than you really are.
Yeah. Like, what really grinds my gears?
Because you know what?
Listen, it ain't hard, bro. You gotta see this. My wife would be sitting on the couch, and I'm like, babe, I'm going to yell in the room because I don't want to scare her or nothing. So babe, I'm going to yell in the room. I'm never angry. I'm not angry, but I just fucking make it seem like I am. I'm yelling and shit. And then fucking 20 minutes later, babe, I'm like, babe, I'm going to yell again. She's fucking laughing her ass off. I'm like, okay.
This is actually at the low. I'm not gonna mince words here. We're absolutely at the lowest level of it, but this is definitely show business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though we're being ourselves to a certain degree, it's still people won't watch this unless they're being entertained by it.
People gravitate to like niches. If you have like, and that's a TikTok thing also. If you have something that you're good at or like a little niche that you can expose and just fucking, ride to the moon, go for it. That's what people like gravitate toward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's kind of what I'm like. I'm learning a little bit here on this as I'm going, right? Doing this a little bit, sticking my toe in the water. I'll try something. Maybe do a solo spin-off over here.
Just make videos, put out content. Doesn't matter what it is.
And and the other thing too is you got to be consistent.
Yeah.
You can't put out a video like on a Monday and then like wait 2 weeks and then do another video. You got to like pump it out like on a consistent basis.
Right. And that's what he was saying. Like, so he was going through it saying, and you got to release the videos every 3 days really is the typical sweet spot, because if you release it too soon, your video doesn't get enough views. And if you release it too late, then you lose followers. So you got to get it in that sweet spot where they're still interested in seeing your next video. It's kind of like an episode on TV, because you don't really have that anymore. You get Netflix that gives you like 12 series at one time, 12 seasons, and all these other things give the season by season. So, you get this with the, this is kind of like TV with these episodes of YouTube.
Right. And it also does depend kind of what your niche is also. And some of the bigger YouTubers I follow, they'll do just pre-recorded videos anytime like news drops about what it is what about their niches. And then like every Friday and Sunday night, they'll do a live stream and they'll have like 2,000 people on the live stream, and their pre-recorded videos will get like whatever, 20,000, 30,000 views, whatever it might be.
Yeah. It's crazy. Well, when I say it's crazy, I mean, that's what happens. It's like, it's just interesting. And like, I didn't realize that that's like, I'm in tech, and I kind of just like, just didn't look at the behind the scenes of what's really involved in it.
Right.
It's
But
like,
this is also like entertainment. It's like tech.
Exactly.
And I'm way overdue for my flagship show, What's Trending. That's my favorite show to do. It's my solo show. It's really where I get to, and I sort of play like an angry jerk off on the show. I'm myself on it, but I embellish and exaggerate on it, and it's fun. But to be honest with you, and again, it's like, it's not a news show, but I comment on like whatever's going on that I'm interested in. That's why I call it it's really what's trending in my brain. But it's I'm just so tired of talking about fucking race. You mentioned race before, a different kind of race, but
yeah,
all that's in the news the last couple of weeks is fucking race. I'm just fucking tired. I'm over it. I'm just over it. Is that my white privilege talking that I'm just over race?
No, it's just that's what they push constantly because that's what sells. And that's all they have. Like, what else are they going to talk about?
Yeah,
What else are they going to talk about that won't bury them? You know what
they
I'm saying?
can't
Like,
talk about Trump. I mean, how much more can you really talk about a guy who's not trying to be in the limelight right now?
right. Because
He's
they
limelight.
don't have anything else. Because if
Right,
they actually did their job, they would have news. They would have news on, you know, the fucking guy there, the puppet, is losing his mind. His fucking son's a piece of shit. This one, you know, they have plenty of fucking, you know, content. They're just not using it because it's going to make them look stupid. Australia's definitely fucking, you know, telling our news.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of what the what do you call it? I mean, it's really a problem right now with the you know, with the lack of news, what to report on. You know, they got to pick new content, like that Trevor Noah guy, right? And the other idiot that all they do is bashing Trump, Stephen Colbert. They got nothing to talk about anymore because he's not in the limelight.
Yep.
But I'm sure they still, and I don't watch any of their content, but I'm sure they still talk plenty of shit about him. Because you know what I noticed on these dating sites? None of these liberal fucking chicks are over Trump. They still have, if you voted for Trump, don't talk to me all over their profiles and shit. And it's like, all right, I understand you might be lazy and haven't
I gotta
updated
take
your
this dog
profile.
out. Put me backstage.
I understand you might be lazy and haven't updated your profile since November, but I mean, just get over it. Just fucking get over it.
I mean, listen. I went to, you know, right. So I got a boss, right? But you know, boss hires me for this big project that I'm on, and like you know, kind of you know, it set me off in the next chapter of my career. So I'm really excited about this, right? And you know, he's coming in, flying into New York every week, and I'm meeting him. And so I said, you know, hey Arun, while you're here, what do you like? You know, what do you like doing? He goes, you know, my absolute favorite person to see is Stephen Colbert.
Oh,
And I'm like,
God.
right? I'm like, so I don't even watch Stephen Colbert, right?
Nobody has since he's been on Comedy Central.
Right, but I didn't realize what I was getting myself into. But he tells me this is who he likes, so I do it any like
Oh, so
self-respecting.
you didn't even know about him.
No, I didn't really know about him, right? Like I heard about him, but I didn't realize what he was. So you know, I go online, I get Stephen Colbert tickets. And I get the tickets for my boss, and then I realize what he does. That he literally his show is bashing Trump from start to finish.
Yeah. And his ratings were in the toilet before he started doing that.
Right, because he sucks, but he's bashing. So all he's doing is bashing Trump, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, you know, I actually I went right. So you know, I still went to the show, right? I took my boss, and let me tell you something. You know,
You are the definition of a company guy.
But no, but I'm saying afterwards, you know, he said, you know, that was really nice. Thank you so much for taking me. You know, he sent me a present from what do you call it? His wife handmade for me, right? Like it was really like he really took it as a nice gesture, right? And I went, I got his picture, you know, signed with him, and they had some automobile memorabilia shit that they were selling, like autographs. You know, we got the whole thing, right? Like, you know, he was happy as can be. I didn't realize all this guy spends time. He's bashing the hell out of Trump the whole show. And then the one that I happened to be on, right? I got Elizabeth Warren coming on, you know,
oh, jeez.
You know, campaigning. And I'm just sitting there, and the whole time I'm just smiling, and, you know, I'm just, you know, being the member of the audience, right? Because they hold up the thing, clap, don't clap, shush, applaud. And I'm just doing the thing, right? Fitting in there, just sitting there going, Jesus Christ, what did I get myself into? But, you know, it was really, you know, it was really interesting experience, I have to say.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, and I have this like a throwback TV channel where they just show stuff from like the 70s and 80s. So I've been watching a lot of Johnny Carson lately, and he's just so good, and you would never know who the guy voted for. And late night comedy went from just being funny for everybody to now it's only funny for one group of people. By the way, we're gonna have the DNC write talking points for that asshole Jimmy Kimmel on ABC. I don't know if you knew that, but that's a thing.
Yeah.
So it went from like just trying to be funny and entertaining everybody to now they actually get their nightly talking points for their monologue from the DNC. That's how fucking and then they say Fox News, who I'm no fan of, but then they're trying to say Fox News is state-run media when Trump was president.
I mean, to be honest with you, if you really look at it, Fox News sold out Trump. Fox News is, still it's not a Republican news station, right?
No.
It is what I'm saying. All the media is not favorable of the Republicans. Is Democratic controlled and Democratic manipulated. And, before we say too much, the show will get bleeped off the air.
Oh, absolutely.
So we have to change the subject over
Well,
here.
no, I mean, it's out there in the open. I mean, how many times does CNN have to get caught by Project Veritas before you take away their privilege to call themselves news?
Yeah.
I mean, they've been caught with their pants down or their hands in the cookie jar, whatever analogy you want to use, at least 3 or 4 times just by that one outlet.
My favorite was there's one weather commercial, right? And it's a weatherman, and it's supposed to be like, tropical storm, whatever. I don't know which one it was, before it actually did anything, right? It was one of these ones that faded out, right? And the weatherman's like, oh my God, this is intense winds. Anybody out here is going to blow away. And he's sitting there, his coat's going to blow away in the wind. He's like, nobody can barely be outside. And then you see this 80-year-old grandma on her walker, walking behind the camera. You know what I mean? And she's
Right.
perfectly normal.
It's a joke. It really is a joke. And again, I mean, if we're gonna get a strike or get pulled for just saying what's out there already that other people can see, then I might just pull down the fucking channel right now, which is what they want. How else do you have 54 followers and have the kind of feed I have with YouTube? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any sense.
So is it really, should we have more followers? Is it the man keeping us down?
I'm definitely shadow banned for sure. No doubt about it.
Okay.
So that adds to the lack of ability, because my subscribers went from 0 to 20 in my first month. And then it took me another until I met the Fat Jew to get up to 34. So in 1 month, I got 20 followers. And then in another 4.5 months, it took me to get another 20 followers, or 10 followers rather.
Okay.
So look, if my content's good enough to get that many followers in a month right out of the gate, you would figure I could probably get 5 to 10 subscribers a month, which right now would probably put me at at least 90.
And you're still not, have you done what I told you to do?
What, with the clips and stuff?
Yeah.
I've been doing that more and more, yeah.
Okay. And you linked your YouTube to your bio, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I got a lot of views from the boat thing on TikTok.
Oh yeah?
Not Fat Jew views, but a lot for me.
Nice.
And then some bitch put "he lost, get over it" as a comment.
Yeah.
And I was just how much does it cost to live in your head? Because I'm not paying a dime.
You should have answered to the comment. You should have made a video on the comment, bro. That's what you got to do. When you got to interact with them.
So what would have you said to that?
What did he say again?
It was some liberal loser chick that she was he lost, get over it.
Yeah, then I would use that fucking comment and say, yeah, he lost. We're still celebrating though, because we're not fucking sheep and we're not stupid. And he's not living rent-free in our heads. He's living rent-free in yours.
There you go. Good off the top of your head. Dude, this guy was banging out TikTok response videos. I'm getting out of the shower and I hear him fucking screaming and cursing. I'm like, oh shit, he's in character. It's like in Pulp Fiction when Samuel L. Jackson goes to Travolta. He's like, all right, it's time to get in character.
That's fantastic.
Listen, I love that shit.
The dog was getting fucking excited and shit.
These past couple days have been so boring because all of my videos, everybody's like, yeah, fucking truth, preach, same here. Nobody's disagreeing with me. And I want that so that I can fucking shut them up. But I don't know where they are.
Here's some other problem is I got my family always around. My basement's been under construction for 5 months. So hopefully once that's over in the next week or two, hopefully my kids over COVID, they come finish. I get my my area down there to my own where I could just like have my stuff, set up down there and try doing something.
There you go.
And then what do you call it? There was another topic I wanted to bring up, and I don't know if Juice is okay with me talking about this, but Tinder, right? You care to talk about with that, Juice?
What, with the Project Veritas?
No, just overall in general.
Oh,
like
yeah. I mean, that's not. I just care about shit that's going to get a strike.
No. I just meant like you, So I was asking you. So my buddy's like going through a divorce, right? Like his wife threw him out of the house. He's like 40 years old. He's like trying to get into the dating scene, right? At like 40, after being married with 2 kids, right? And he's, going on Match.com. They're charging him $100 just to look at pictures of other girls. He's looking at going on Tinder. They want to charge him like $69.99 to go on Tinder. Is this shit really that expensive right now?
Yeah. I just paid when I got home from Florida. I had like 20 matches on Bumble that I couldn't see because they give you like a daily match limit.
Yeah.
And I paid $20 for the week just to see my matches from Florida for unlimited matches or whatever. So yeah, it's not cheap, but I'll do that like once a year, and then I'll get like free unlimited swipes on Bumble for like a whole week. And what I'll do is I'll go on the Bumble website, and I have a little app that just like clicks my mouse, basically.
Yeah.
And so I'll just go on the website and let the thing auto swipe for me for fucking the whole week. And then if I don't like the girl, I just unmatch it. But it's better than just sitting there and swiping on your iPhone all day.
So what's the cost of getting laid?
Well, it depends. Are you taking them out on a date, or are you just fucking, sometimes you get lucky and they just come over the first meetup.
I got to tell him this.
Yeah.
Because he's like, he signed up for Match and he paid like $100, and he's like, I couldn't even get a broad to talk to me.
Matt, tell him get off Match. That site's garbage. You want to go on Bumble or Tinder?
Okay. Which is better? I mean, obviously you're saying that the Bumble is the spot, right?
They're both good. Like Tinder, really, it's only good if you pay for it. The free version sucks, but I don't pay for Tinder. But I get by on it.
I know nothing of the subject at all.
Yeah, I've been on both of these sites since their inception.
Right. That's kind of why I was asking Juice. Right.
All of this shit came out like once I was ready in a relationship. I didn't fucking know none of this bullshit.
You're better off for it.
Oh yeah, I know. I don't want any part of that shit.
When I was dating, I can tell you the year 1996 was the last time I was dating.
It's a long time ago, bro.
Right.
That's the year of my car.
Right. So the year of your car is when I met my wife, right? And we've been together ever since.
Nice.
And she's missed me with every bullet so far. She's missed me with every bullet so far.
But her aim's getting better?
Her aim is definitely getting better, though.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I don't wish kind of like, going back on the dating scene on anybody. But, he works in New York City. I'm like, dude, there's tons of women in New York City. I'm like, just go on one of these apps. He's like, I'm not downloading an app because I guess he's all pissed because he wasted $100 a Match.
Match is garbage. Like, I believe it or not, like I've used all the sites. I've had the least success on Match. And by success, I just mean getting laid. But I mean, success, different people might define success differently.
Well, no, so I was talking to him, right? And he kind of he chose Match because he kind of wanted to, get into a more of a relationship with somebody first, like actually get to know them and talk to them and not just find somebody for like, a quick flick. And, I don't know. I told him he should just go for the gusto and just bang everything that's, exists. Who cares how old they are? Blind, crippled, or bald.
Jesus.
You date and, you see if you click with a person like that to take it further. But at the very least, you should be able to take it back to the bedroom if the first date or two goes well.
Well, he's not even looking for that. He's not even looking for somebody to like get into bed with real quick. He's looking for, to meet somebody and try to get to know them first. And like, he just doesn't want to go like bang chicks. And I told him that that's just the wrong approach. But
yeah, I mean, I think whether you're going to get into a relationship or you're trying to get laid, you still got to approach it the same way. And then you just things go in different directions all the time. I mean, I can tell you, there's girls that I've met online that I would have loved to get into a relationship with, but they just weren't feeling me for that. They were just feeling me for the one night stand or the couple of months of talking and whatever, blow and go, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And then there's girls that have liked me a lot that I wasn't feeling them like that. So that's just kind of the luck I've had. But it's like baseball. I mean, the more at bats you take, the more balls you're going to hit, you know?
Right. And then you definitely met some crazy broads on there.
Yeah. Well, the fucking one that I was happy I was talking to, right? I mean, she was a nut job.
The one I know about that, she's just whew. Anyways. I don't know if we're talking about the same one or not.
I don't know. Maybe we'll talk offline about that.
Yeah,
because
that's definitely an offline conversation. She's too crazy to ever mention even online. Not even a guess on who she is. That's how crazy the broad is.
Yeah.
But she could start a lawnmower.
I had this one broad. She lives in the Edison area, and we made plans to hang out yesterday. She was going to come here at and I texted her at 9:30. We made these plans on Thursday. I texted her 9:30 a.m. yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, what time did you want to meet up later?" I was like, "How's 6? Is that good?" She goes, "Perfect." So then 5:15 comes and she texts me, and I'm thinking to myself, why is she not on her way already? She lives like a good almost hour away. And she goes, "So what did you want to do?" And I'm like, "Well, we already made our plans." And she's like, "Well, now for the first meetup, I don't feel like going all the way to you." And I just rolled my eyes, and I'm just like, then why didn't you fucking tell me this on Thursday? Why are you telling me in the commute time? Like you're waiting until the time you should have already been on your way here to tell me you don't want to come here. You know? So I just didn't even answer her. And she sent me a picture. She got all dolled up and stuff. And I'm like, well, good. You got dolled up for nothing then, because you're not going to waste any more of my time.
Yeah, but why didn't she tell you Wednesday, be like, hey, you know what, listen, let's meet up halfway, or why don't you come here or something?
And I would have had no problem with that if I knew beforehand, because I was spending Saturday getting my place looking nice and doing shit I had to do. She even told me what kind of alcohol she wanted, so I went to go pick up the stuff that she liked. And it's like, fine. I mean, it's not going to go to waste here. I'll have it sooner or later.
Of course,
but the point is that why would you wait until the time you were already supposed to be on your way here to tell me you don't want to come here?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff you got to deal with. But you got to take the bad with the good, like anything else.
And where was she coming from?
Somewhere I won't say exactly what town, but somewhere like in the Edison area.
All right. So let's just say 45 minutes away. So you weren't worth a 45-minute drive. That's what she said.
Which is fine. Again, she was trying to push meeting halfway. And at one point she was even saying, you're the guy, you should tell me what you want to do. And I was like, what do you mean I'm the guy? We already had plans. I was like, you're making this up. I was like, what are you talking about? And
the plans were to go to your place.
Right.
So obviously she got cold feet.
Which is fine. No problem. But don't tell me when you're supposed to be on your way here. Yeah, and you're making me and I'm waiting all day to fucking hang out.
I hear you, but look at it her perspective, right? So at the moment she got all excited. She wants to come to your place. She's like, you know what? I'll come there. We'll watch a movie. It'll be a great time. It'll be like Sleepless in Seattle.
She was older than me. By the way, she was older than me. She was like 40.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly, right? So maybe she was
40?
Yeah.
Recently divorced?
I don't think recently.
No, but divorced?
Well, she had a kid, so I don't know.
Okay, right. So she had a kid. She was in another relationship. She's back on the dating scene, right? She has this whole idea where she's going to get dolled up, come over, and it's going to be like the best romance ever, and fuck you. And then, then as she's on her way there, she's like, oh, shit, what if this guy's like Jeffrey Dahmer, and he's going to eat me and harvest my kidneys? So you got to look at it from her perspective.
No, I totally get it if she were to tell me sooner. But maybe I didn't emphasize this enough. She was pretending like we hadn't made the plans already for her to come up here.
Right, because she got nervous.
But don't pretend like we didn't have a prearranged agreement as to what we were doing. Just be straight with me and just be like, hey, I thought about it. I'm really not comfortable coming up to see you yet. Why don't we go somewhere halfway? Or I know a couple good places near me.
Put the lotion on the skin.
And then she wanted me to do this research as to what was halfway between me and her. And I'm not doing that. When we had plans already. You do the fucking research if you want to change plans.
Fair enough. I mean, listen, the bottom line is neither of you wanted to put the effort in, apparently, but you know what I'm just saying? You got to look at it from her perspective.
Oh, dude, I could give two fucks because I'm talking to plenty of other girls. That's not
Right.
I'm just saying the point is that's just like it's just a thing weird people do. And
Yeah.
so as much as she thinks I red flagged her, she red flagged me just as much.
I've realized how bad people suck recently. I just really had to, some personal family issues, right? And I could really see how bad even family sucks.
You're preaching to the choir, bro.
Yeah.
Were you trying to date someone in your family?
No, I wasn't trying to date somebody in my family.
We don't do that here above the Mason-Dixon line.
No, the dating scene was for my buddy.
Bet you they sleep with their sisters down here. Well, some of them.
So the dating scene was for my buddy. The other issue was, I don't know, family.
Well, you brought it up on the show, so can you expound on that?
Yeah, I mean,
as much as you can.
Yeah, I mean, I can pretty much say, what happened, right? So I'm over here getting my basement remodeled, right? So it's my uncle that's doing the basement remodel. My uncle, in the middle of doing the basement remodel, gets sick, right? Comes down with, a particular illness that, prevents him from working any longer, okay? It's also a life-threatening illness, right? So we're not going to talk about what it is, but it's not good, right? So, my uncle can't work anymore, and he's in the middle of doing my basement, okay? Now, I'm pretty close to him.
I could picture a more succinct version of your story being a good TikTok video, except you're angrier, and you go to your fans, you go, you want to know what fucking makes me angry? When my fucking uncle gets sick with a life-threatening illness, when he's in the middle of fixing my fucking basement.
Well, that's kind of how you make it out to be, but it's not really like that, right? Like, I'm devastated.
I know, I said it in character.
Yeah, I know, but I'm devastated that this happened, right? So this is kind of what leads up to the story that I'm going to tell you. So my uncle's sick, he can't work anymore. The basement's in absolute shambles. So now I got to hire another contractor to come here and do the work. It was half a joke when I was asking you to come up from Florida and work on my basement.
Right.
So I was serious, but it was half a joke. Right?
I know.
So I hire a local contractor, right? And he tells me when he's starting. So I start spending days taking off of work, cleaning the basement, bring all the tools.
Right, because that's what you want to do with your PTO.
Right, exactly. Take all the stuff out of the basement, right? And I had to bring it up to, I'm reaching out to my cousins saying, hey, can you take this? They're like, no, bring it to this one's house, right? So finally I got one of the cousins said to bring it to his house. I bring like a whole car full of stuff up there, right? Bring a whole car full of stuff up there. I kept a couple tools that I could still use down in the basement. So I kept a saw, a nail gun, and something else, right? A level, right? To go finish cutting some wood that the contractor isn't doing because I'm trying to save some money. So all of a sudden, I get a phone call from my cousin that he needs these tools right now that I still have. Now, nobody's been here working for weeks. I went and cleaned out the basement on my own. I brought back almost all the tools, and I told my one cousin that I have a couple of the tools I'm still using. So now my other cousin wants the tools, and he thinks I'm trying to steal them. They're his dying father's tools, right, is what he's telling me, and I'm trying to steal them. And I'm like, you can't be serious. I'm like, I make a lot of money in my job, right? I have a lot of money. I'm not trying to brag, right? But I'm just saying.
Hey, dude, do you think this would be a good video for like using his voice and then it's like someone doing like a fucking science experiment or like baking a cake or something like on the video, but you hear him talking about the story in the background?
Yeah. And it's literally $600 worth of tools that I have, right? $600 worth of tools. And he's telling me that, I'm stealing his dying father's tools and that I'm a piece of shit and that he's going to come to my house and beat me up over $600 worth of tools that I'm not keeping. I'm using, and I need them for another couple weeks. I'm out thousands of dollars here, right? Because I got to go hire another contractor to finish the mess that somebody else already started and got paid for. So I'm out thousands of dollars. I'm not asking for anything but to use some tools, right? And like, I'll give it back to you when I'm done. What's it going to be, another week?
It's like, what do you need them right now?
He needed to come get them right now. He was threatening harm against me.
All right, now I know this might not be something that people want to hear, but it's a sad thing that when someone's getting close to dying, the people who collect that shit, like there's a lot of greed in the world, and when someone dies, they're always thinking, oh, what am I gonna get? So in their head, you know, right now it's their shit that you have. Because
That's fucking Janice from The Sopranos.
what do you mean?
Yeah,
I'll know what
that's
I'm talking
Janice from The Sopranos. Juice is right. This show, I don't know how much of The Sopranos you watched, Jew, but let me tell you, it's not how many times I've seen The Sopranos. It's how many thousands of times have I seen The Sopranos. So it's basically $600 worth of tools that I'm not taking. Right? I wanted to borrow for another 2 weeks. Right? Like, you should have came here weeks ago, cleaned out the basement. I wouldn't have had to take off for work. You could have took everything.
Yeah, the same thing happened with my wife's family. Grandpa was like on his deathbed, and you know, fucking her uncle was bitching about fucking guns or some bullshit. Like, we're like, you know, you just buried your father, and already you're fighting over shit. Like, that's how fucking certain people work. Like, they're just too greedy. Me, I don't want to fight anybody. I don't. I'd rather still have the person who died than fucking worry about their
Well,
shit.
so this is my thing, right? So he just got diagnosed with this bad illness, right? There's possible treatment. There's possible resolutions without naming any of them, right? And this is what it is. It's he's already in a box, right? He's already gone, and I stole his tools. You know what I mean? That's what the fabrication of somebody with a mental illness, right, came about.
Yep.
So, you know, I'm fighting for my uncle, right? I'm fighting for his treatment, whatever he needs. I'm there to help him, right? You know what I mean? I just don't get it.
People are just bred different, man.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's my my joyous stuff. What about you, man? Anything new down there in Florida?
Not really, bro. It's been a very relaxing week. Yeah, I've just been going to the beach. Just came from the pool hall a couple hours ago. It's been a nice, relaxing week.
Juice told me that his sea legs don't work so well.
Yeah, apparently he like just got over his fucking jet lag of the water, I guess.
Yeah.
I never have. I've never had an issue. I hope I never have an issue. But I mean, I can be on the water all day and not. It won't affect me.
Yeah, that's a big problem if you're thinking about moving to Tampa Bay and you don't like water.
But I also think, like I said, I grew up in New York City, subways all the time. It's the same thing. The swaying and back and forth, it's really the same feeling. Your body kind of gets used to it.
Yeah.
When the boat was moving, I was fine. It was just when we were anchored is when
right, because you got to keep balance and it's constantly swaying and constantly moving. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm used to that shit. Fucking subway was literally the same thing. You know what I mean? Same feeling anyway.
Yeah. So
what is your fucking problem, dog? What do you want from me? I don't know what that look means. Oh, man.
what kind of dog you got?
The Mastiff mix.
So how big is he gonna get?
He's not gonna get too much bigger.
Okay.
He's a fucking pain in my ass.
Because I know some of those Mastiffs, they get huge.
No, he's not. He's not like Mastiff huge. He's just regular fucking. He's fat. I mean, he's a fat ass.
Yeah.
He's got nice colors. That's just about it.
I don't know. I got a black lab mix, man, and he's pretty jacked, right? Like he just had like a stomach thing. So like he was getting a little chubby, but he had a stomach thing from like he ate a chicken bone that was on the street and got like a parasite, crazy shit. So we got him on medicine and got him fixed, but he lost like a bunch of weight, so he's all muscle right now.
Huh.
He's only like a year and a half old.
Oh, so he's still a baby.
Yeah, he's still a baby.
Yeah, I've wanted to fucking take this motherfucker out back and old yeller his ass a couple times. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, I got my dog's still a puppy. He's a good puppy though.
Yeah, see, I wish I had him as a puppy. I got him from the pound when he got returned twice.
Really?
Yeah, returned twice. That's like sloppy fucking thirds, bro.
Just your luck, right?
Well, how come you decided to take him after you found that out?
I honestly didn't find out until afterwards. But I mean, what attracted me to him is his colors. His colors are fucking beautiful.
Okay.
And he was calm at the fucking pound. Then we took him home, and it was over. That's crazy.
He must really like you.
Yes.
So the reason why I got my dog, right? I had to get a boy dog because it's me, my wife, my two kids which are both girls, and the cat, which is a girl. So I'm totally outnumbered, right? Four to one over here. So I'm like, I got to get a boy dog to be on my side. So went out to the shelter, adoption shelter in the mall up by me, and it was his sister was there, and the kids actually picked out his sister. I'm like, no, how about that dog right there, the boy? And that's that we went and got him and brought him home. We kept his kennel name, which is Sparky, like Chevy Chase, and Christmas Vacation over there.
Nice. Sparky.
Yeah, I think that was the exact accent that she used. Sparky.
Fucking Sparky.
So, so we kept this kennel name.
Nice.
What's new over there in the Ring of Light, Juice Georgia land?
Just living life. I'm feeling guilty. I haven't done a What's Trending show, but again, like I'm just so fucking tired of talking about race, and there's nothing else. Literally, there's nothing else in the news right now besides race and fucking Dementia Joe, and those really are things I'm excited to cover.
Well, that was kind of why I was wondering why, like, you were at radio silence over here. I'm like, radio silence at all. I was thinking, maybe Juice is like, did I say something, piss Juice off? I said, that's stupefied, that many beers deep into, like, my conversation.
Wait, hold on. What do you think? I'm like our friend that just turns the off switch on people?
I don't know. I wasn't sure, like, but then
I thought he was just busy packing his shit or something. Like I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Well, I know he had the shit going on at work, right? And then he was down there by you. So, I know he has some shit going on. So I was like, I was wondering maybe he's just, maybe he's busy. Then I'm thinking maybe he's mad at me. But then I'm checking the channel and I don't even see what's trending, nothing. I'm like, radio silence. So like I messaged you and that's when it told me I couldn't message you, Jew, right? So then I messaged, I should have just messaged your phone number, right? But then I messaged Juice and I'm like, what's up, Juice? And he's like, dude, Florida messed me up. That was kind of Florida messed me up. Like my sea legs, man. I've been still floating.
Jesus.
I never had, dude, I've been on boats my whole life. I've never had that happen. I think it was just, there was something about being anchored. I've never felt like that on a boat. And I'm telling you, all I had to do was pick up some bonine before that. And I think I would have been fine. And that was just my bad. Because my biggest concern prior to the boat trip was covering my tattoo. I just wasn't thinking about like my insides.
Right.
Yeah, so no sunscreen. You had to take a dump. That was hilarious. Right? That part of the story. So he's telling me the story, Drew, right? Like he's got to take a dump and he can't go nowhere and he wants to go back to someplace to go take a dump, which I can totally understand, right? Between that, no sunscreen, so he's all burnt up. Then he's on the boat that's moving up and down.
Let me just tell you something, bro. We were all fucking telling him, bro, he was fucking drinking. He was fucking laying down on the front of the boat, just sitting out in the sun. And we're like, yo, maybe you want to put some sunscreen on? Nothing. Yo, Juice. Like, we're trying to fucking get him. And then finally he woke up. But at that point, he was, a little fucking.
At the time, I felt fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you get all stupefied. You bake in the sun, and you
And
don't even
meanwhile,
realize it.
he's got the scotch tape all around his tattoo. I'm like, what do you use the scotch tape, bro? And then he fucking cut himself, and then he's scotch taping that. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I'll give you a Band-Aid. Jesus.
Well, Juice, this sounds totally like the episode, right? Totally of the wedding episode. It does. He's a drunken mess. He cuts himself. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
he was fucking drinking, and he's trying to fucking let the drone. He's trying to fucking lift the drone off a moving boat, and I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm like, that's not good because once the thing lifts, we're still moving. Like that's not a good idea, you know. And in my head, I said it, and I'm like, bro, just give it up. I was like, don't worry about it. Couple minutes go by, I'm just sitting there cruising, listening to music. All of a sudden, I hear, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Sure as shit, it hovered and we were moving.
You know what's fantastic? Nothing ends it just like a good Juice story. They're just so predictable. It's great. That's why I'm friends with him. It's why I'm friends with him, because he just likes to have a good time at all expense.
Hey, we only go through this ride once. You know what I'm saying? No
Listen,
regret.
I'm kind of envious because I'm too conservative over here to do some of the foolish maneuvers you do. But I'm a little jealous, I have to say sometimes.
It's like Tim the Toolman Taylor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he almost took his pinky off, but well, who's counting? He's got fucking 9 more. He's got 9 more
I got
fingers.
9 more digits.
Whatever.
It's all good.
We'll call him
in
9.5
Alabama,
for a little while. That's all.
Just think in Alabama, that's 3 more than you need.
We'll call him 9.5.
So that's life, man.
Yes, sir. And then I have to clean the blood off the boat. I saw a couple drops. I was like, I felt like Dexter. You ever watch that show?
Yeah, this is not even your boat. You're borrowing the boat. Your friend's a drunk mess on it, bleeding all over the place. The typical Juice story. The typical Juice story. This is fantastic. This is another one for the books.
Hey, what do you think? I'm going to go to Florida and fuck around? No, I'm a pro, man.
You're a pro, man. Listen, I'm envious. I told you, if you want to get a place down there, I'll split it with you. We'll go, what do you call it? Buy one together. You want to get one? I'll rent it to you.
Hey, if you want to split one, I'll fucking do that.
Dude, I'll definitely do that.
And then if we ever get a divorce, we'll just put an agreement that we just have to sell it and split the profits.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have like a whole LLC going on.
I'm down. Yeah, why don't we split like a 2-bedroom condo or something, or a 3-bedroom?
You can Airbnb that motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
And I can maintain it for you, bro.
Bro, we got it made. We should really investigate
I'm just saying, bro, I'm a handyman. I fix shit. And people are gonna break shit, so I can fix shit. It's very simple, bro.
There you go.
I can maintain that motherfucker.
Yeah. We'll keep the gears turning.
Oh, fuck it. I don't care.
Just think, we can get into the uncommon sense. It'll turn into, uncommon investing.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm down to help out any way I can.
Uncommon dollars.
And then wait, what if we streamed all of this and made a whole thing about it?
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
It's called buying a house in the land of freedom from a communist fucking shithole state.
Get out of the communist shithole state.
Episode 1.
Episode 1. Nice. I like it.
All right, we ready to end the live stream? I'm excited to tell you about this new invention, bro.
Yeah. We went for an hour and 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm way too again. I'm like fucking snooted right now.
All right. Well, you guys got anything you want to plug for all the juice heads before we call it a day?
Big things coming.
And my new closing line is going to be, hold on to your pinky. Don't lose your pinky, folks.
Keep the digits. Stay out of Alabama.
All right, juice. Let's have a great night. Don't lose any fingers. We'll see you next time.